I'll be damned.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's Jesse from Brooklyn City FC. We are back with the Monday Kickoff podcast, July 13th edition, sponsored by City League, if you didn't already know. A lot to go over. Kind of quiet on the club side, but big, huge, just more and more drama every match, every weekend on the World Cup side of things. So we will get into that in a bit. As the World Cup semifinals and finals week. It's hard to believe the tournament's almost over. It's kind of sad, and we're all going to go through major withdrawal after Sunday's final. But huge weekend, and you know, as I hope everybody's been able to experience. What's really been cool about this World Cup is just how it's kind of taken over the streets here in New York and in Brooklyn. Had the opportunity to just sit down in an outdoor cafe and catch the Argentina-Swiss game in Brooklyn late at night after our women's game. And yeah, it's just like everywhere you turn, people are showing the games, people are sitting outside, people are putting giant screens up in their storefront windows with a crowd on the sidewalk watching the game. Depending on what neighborhood you're in, you know, attracting different countries. Different peoples from wherever they're from across the world. So it's a really cool tournament to have in New York, and having, you know, also like the people, the fans coming from the other countries and taking over, you know, more so in the tourist areas, like Times Square, Manhattan, but having like the English and Norwegian, and then all the communities also that already live here. Such as all the South American, Central American countries. So really awesome tournament. Sorry to see it's going to be ending this weekend, but of course, unless you're living under a rock, towards the end of last week, you had France over Morocco and Spain over Belgium. I think two situations where one side was just a bit too much for the other to handle, although both extremely competitive games and a lot to be proud of for the losing sides. And I don't know how everybody else feels, but it seems to me to be a World Cup where there's a lot of pride and appreciation for the sides that end up losing and going home. And I don't mean that in any kind of sarcastic way or any kind of patronizing way, but just a ton, like all the way back to the round of 32 with some of the smaller countries, just a ton of like celebrating the effort that they put in to get where they got to, and just thanking teams, you know, after a losing effort. So I think that was also, you know, was the case with Morocco and Belgium. Great effort to get as far as they did. Very strong sides, especially with Morocco, but just couldn't quite get it done against the powerhouse teams. And then Saturday, high drama as usual. England, Norway. It was Erling Haaland against Jude Bellingham, basically, which is a funny, if you see it on social media, funny kind of bromance going on between those two guys. But Jude Bellingham, man, this guy stepped up big time in this tournament, establishing himself as at very least, a top player in the world. But, you know, in the biggest games, the big dogs come out to eat, and Jude has been doing his thing and just willing his country to victory in these games. Holland had a tough day on Saturday. Although Norway, you know, had the better of the game and a lot of stretches of that game, and showed that they're not just a one-man team. Some unfortunate plays for them, an unfortunate decision by Sorloth not to pass to Holland on a clear 2v1 to finish to goal, which would have changed that game dramatically. But in the end, England got the job done. They got the result. And then the second game, Argentina, everybody's favorite team to hate these days, got the job done against Switzerland, but another one where Switzerland was surprisingly good and very, very tough to beat. and really had a couple things gone a little differently, and a kind of silly decision by the Swiss player to dive and get himself tossed from the game. That game could have definitely went differently. So Argentina a tad lucky to be getting into the semifinal, which is what, I mean, I don't know what they're going to call it, the top team to hate cup with England versus Argentina. Everybody's two biggest hate watches. But yeah, France, Spain, Argentina, England, what more can you ask for? So tomorrow, Wednesday, is going to be huge. And then can't wait to see what happens in the final on Sunday. On the BCFC side, we had two matches over the weekend, both on Saturday, both simultaneously Saturday evening, as a matter of fact. We had our men's team out at St. John's University Belson Stadium to take on Excelsior New York, which is another new club in the League for Clubs summer semi-pro circuit that we are in. It was both of our teams the last game of the season, and Excelsior unfortunately got the better of us. They went up 2-0 by half, and then finished 4-0, which I think the fourth goal coming right before the final whistle. So been a challenging year for our BCFC League for Clubs team, but a huge learning experience for everybody involved, starting with myself down through the staff, and super proud of the guys, honestly, for sticking with some tough results over the course of the 10-game season, but sticking with it, showing up to every training session, showing up to matches, and really giving it their best effort through the last game of the season. So great experience for everybody involved, and we're definitely going to have a lot to reflect on so we can come back next year way more competitive and ready to assert ourselves in the Northern Division of the League for Clubs. On the women's side, we had our second to last game of the season for WPSL 2 squad, who hosted Kingston Capitals. Unfortunately, Kingston showed up with a very short roster. So it was an easy game for our women's second team squad. Kind of cruised to a 8-0 win in full time. A bunch of goal scorers, and I admit and apologize, I'm not prepared to name them all, but I will name one. Shyla Murray came back to us in her first match recovering from an ACL, a nasty ACL tear, and through months and months and months and months of rehab, back on the field for her first match and got herself a goal. So emotional moment for her, everybody's favorite player. And it's so great to have Shyla back in our women's teams and back on the field. So easy win, and the women will prepare for their last game in a much more challenging situation with a home match where we host Sporting Connecticut, which is honestly one of the top WPSL squads in the Northeast. They will be playing their second team with a 12 p.m. kickoff at Brooklyn College. So as not to interfere with any World Cup matches, come out, support our women's second team in their last match of the season. I believe we can finish second in the table with some points in that match. So looking forward to see what the women can do. And that will wrap things up for the summer. So till then, enjoy the rest of your semifinal World Cup viewing. If you're a BCFC family, we've got summer camps running all week, both soccer roofs, every week of the summer, so check that out. Otherwise, we'll be seeing all of our teams back for preseason in August, and we cannot wait for that to start. So, till then, have a great week, and we'll see you